Right.
Here we are.
Here we are. It's going to be deep tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. It's like,
I'll have to get in there closer.
Yeah. Come on in a little bit closer. That'll be good. Yeah. That'll be, yeah, really, seriously. It's okay to come in. Yeah.
I'm scooching.
That light though, that's a lot of light. I don't know how you sit there.
I'm going to scooch
So what was it?
Well, it makes all the difference in the world as far as how the video turns out.
Good. It's all about aesthetic.
It's all about.
I'm scooching closer because
It's about being.
I have a special chair.
It's about
Did you find something?
It's about being able to
Yes, it was right there, like
See.
Holy Spirit was like.
I just knew it. And see, how did I know that? I didn't know.
You did.
I just knew it.
You just knew, and I'm so glad that you knew and I checked because it was sitting right there.
Now, if we just listen to that
Oh my gosh!
instead of the other.
Right?
Okay, mighty companions. Everybody's coming in online. Give everybody a chance to show up. It's always good to have my mighty companions in the house.
I know. Got little doggies.
Mighty companions in the house. 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 A couple of minutes. We got people coming on. CJ. Mighty companions in the house. Mighty companions in the house. Blue Sky. Blue is checking us out. Mighty companions in the house. Susan. Mighty companions in the house. See who else we got? Demola.
Love that name.
Demola. But I had fixed at the dentist one time. Demola. Myrna. Mighty companions in the house. Welcome to the Way of Mastery. Kelly, welcome to the Way of Mastery. Mighty companions, welcome to the Way of Mastery. It's going to be a deep.
Get some seatbelts
I
on.
always think about how the Course in Miracles talks about how people are sent. So whenever I do a class, I always look at it as if whoever shows up, that's who's sent. So there's something very specific for us.
Okay.
For some reason. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah. Those online.
Are you ready?
So I'm not taking any prisoners.
No.
I'm not taking any prisoners. I'm going to see who want to hang or not. We're going to see. In the Way of Mastery, it's important to remember to open our minds, that we don't have to believe it. We don't have to welcome it. We don't have to accept it. Some of the ideas will be hard to believe, and some will be quite startling. We are not being asked to judge the ideas at all. Their use will give the ideas meaning to us and will show us that the ideas are true. Open your mind to hear something very different from what we have been taught in the world, And more as I see how insane the world is, I become gladder and happier each day that I'm not buying into anything that the world teaches and the world believes. When you look at the insanity that's being projected from some part of our mind, and it's all based on people believing what the world believes is true, I'm so glad to look at things differently, to hear something different, and I'm grateful.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for that.
Me too.
So
An hour of sanity.
take a breath. Yes. Trish, great to see you online. And the section of the Way of Mastery that I'm going to get into tonight is on page, it's on page 317. It's where I'm going to start. I thought I had written it down, and I think I said page, but didn't put the page number. So it's page 317. Yeah, I think I put page and then page. So those of you online, we're going to start off with page 317. And when people come online, they want to know who we are. Somebody that's online, would you please tell them so that I won't have to keep repeating it throughout the whole class? Help me out. And also, if you think of it, share, like, and comment as much as you can, because the more you share, like, and comment, the more the broadcast is shared to a larger audience on Facebook. And if you hit the heart icon and send me a lot of hearts, then that inspires me to keep on doing what I'm doing, because it's something about looking at people shooting out love to you that makes you feel inspired about what you're doing. Plus, that also increases the reach. So send some love out to me, and also let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm not on my mic, so hopefully you can hear me. Usually it's pretty sensitive, so let me know. Elizabeth, Lord have mercy. It's good to see you and feel you. May, good evening. I tell you, it's awesome. I like it. I love it. I'm going to start off with the prayer on page 317, if you're in it in the book, that says, I am one with my Creator now. Thanks. You can hear me just fine. Great. I am one with my Creator now. 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 I choose to fulfill my purpose. I choose to fulfill my purpose. I choose to fulfill my purpose. I choose to fulfill my purpose by extending only the reflection of myself. Can I give me some water on that in the back? And warm if you can warm it up for me, that would be good. Warm water. Thank you. And I am love. I am but love. So I'm going to say that about 3 or 4 times, because I've been doing this long enough to know it takes a few minutes for us to settle in from being out in the world to tune into what's being said. So I'm going to say it again. You are one with your Creator now. You choose to fulfill your purpose now. And you choose to fulfill your purpose by extending only the reflection of yourself. And you are but love. There are plenty of seats. Come on in. You are one with your Creator now. You choose to fulfill your purpose by extending only the reflection of yourself, and you are but love. I am one with my Creator now. I choose to fulfill my purpose by extending only the reflection of myself, and I am but love. I am one with my Creator now. Now. I choose to fulfill my purpose by extending only the reflection of myself, and I am but love. We are but love. You are but love. I am but love. You are but love. We are but love. You are but love. I am but love. You are but love. You are but love. I am but love. We are 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 but love. You 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 are but love. They are but love. They are but love. They are but love. They are but love. What? They are but love.
Who?
They are but them. They are but love. What? They are but love. They are but love.
It's true.
We are but love. 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 So we're going to do the section called Putting Your Purpose into Practice. Okay, so tonight is about practical application of the ideas. So we're going to talk about putting your purpose into practice. And I'm going to go through the section, and then we'll take a few minutes to discuss it, and then we're going to go to the next part of it. You can be bashful, shy, quiet, and you can be loud, and you can express yourself, and you can have a good time. You can do whatever you want to do with it.
Awesome.
I'm always excited to be here. I'm always excited to be doing this. And it's like taking a spiritual shower.
Yeah.
You know, feeling like, okay, I'm washing my mind clean right now. You know. So we're all taking a spiritual shower together.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to
Yes.
wash my back.
Okay.
And I said, who's going to watch my back?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you do in a spiritual shower. You watch each other's back. You watch it. So imagine a business person sitting down to negotiate the closing of a deal who goes to that part of the mind that is sane and says, what price should I place upon this land that I'm about to sell to this other corporation? While the person's accountants and realtors have been telling him that the property is worth $1 million, the person goes within, and the answer comes, ask only $250,000, and ask that another $300,000 be donated to such and such a charity. In your world, which is the world of insanity, in your world, which is the world of insanity, in your world, which is the world of insanity, the businessman would say, oh no, I can't do that. I can't listen to that voice. But in the way of knowing, when you're in the way of enlightenment, then the businessman smiles and says exactly what was received. When the shock on the other person's face settles down, then they will be quite happy to know that they have saved a lot of money. For in their world, they think that the only way to have is to possess. So to the insane man, when you give something away, you don't have it anymore. So to the insane man, it thinks that the only way you can have anything is to possess and then try to get as much as you can possibly possess. A conscious being knows that everything is a reflection of an idea, and that everything is an idea. All things come from ideas. And ideas, you can give ideas away without losing them. So if you give an idea away, the idea becomes stronger and the idea grows. So someone that's conscious knows that whenever you're sharing, whenever you're giving, you're going to increase what you have because you make the idea of it stronger. Someone that's asleep and unconscious and lack consciousness based feel like what they got to do is try to hang on to every little bit that they have, no matter what, because there never is enough. So in the way of knowing, in the way of reality, you know that the only way to have is to give. Like, I really want my freedom. I really want to experience freedom in my life. So what I've decided to do is to give people what they already have, which is freedom.
Brilliant.
So my personal attitude in all my relationships and friendships is to give. Now, so how do you give someone else freedom? One way you can give someone else freedom is to support them in feeling innocent about choosing their freedom and helping them feel innocent about expressing their freedom. So the way I would give you your freedom would be to support you in whatever you think you need to do with your own body and your own self. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, that's also not very popular among fear-based people. Fear-based people, the last thing they can do is give anybody freedom because the same rule applies. They think whenever they give something away or appear to give someone away, then they're going to lose. So they're possessive and attached as opposed to free. So the only way to have is to give. And the only thing that's missing in your life is what you're not giving. There's a line in the Course that says the only thing that can be missing is what you're not giving. So as soon as you talk about what's lacking, it's what you're not giving. So now you are like that businessman. You live in a world in which the business of your reality is to extend only love. That's the only reason why we're here, is to extend love. So be you therefore not afraid of the world. Don't be afraid of the world. Don't be afraid of the world. Don't be afraid of the world. Because when you see the world through the eyes of the enlightened soul, now, what is an enlightened soul? An enlightened soul is a soul that knows they're one with God. An enlightened soul knows they're one with their source. They know they're connected to their source. So the world of space and time is perfectly benign. The world of space and time has no purpose whatsoever except to serve Christ in the extension of love. And to serve Christ means to serve your true self. The Webmaster describes Christ as your real self. The you that was created by God, the one creation of God, in traditional religion called the one Son. Now, your true self is an extension of love. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to extend love. All the stuff that people are working so hard to achieve, security, a roof over their head, money, whatever. All of these books says these things would be provided to you if you actually fulfill the function for which you were born. That everybody's working for stuff that would be given them if they would wake up and make their own self-realization, extending love, extending the truth, their primary function. And that's not even hard. How can it be hard to be what you are?
Yeah.
Think about that. Why should it be? It's hard to be what you're not.
Yeah.
So people struggle so much because they're always being what they aren't. And that's why their life is a struggle and they never get it. But if you're truly being what you are, then that's the easiest function you could possibly have, because all you have to do is show up and be present as your real self. So the Webmaster says, this is why anyone who comes to answer only the voice for love, somebody who's serious about being loved, finds that the universe comes to support that one in ways that the egoic mind could never understand. If you decide that you're going to be your true self, if you decide that you're going to be your true self, if you decide that you're going to be not what your mama taught you, not what your dad taught you, not what society taught you, not what your friends taught you, not what TV taught you, not what magazines have taught you, when you decide to be your true spiritual identity, then you're going to find that the universe supports you in ways that your worldly mind could not comprehend and could not understand. So you're going to be taken care of in ways you don't even understand. You'll have things taken care of you. Your life will flow in a way that you'll frankly say, I don't understand why things are working out this well. I don't understand why I'm being supported so beautifully. So miracles do occur as creation flows. But creation only flows from a mind that's unencumbered. So what does the mind need to be unencumbered with in order for creation to flow? The pressures of trying to make life go the way it thinks it needs it to go. Okay, so I'm going to be with that statement for a minute. When do miracles happen? When you stop trying to make life work the way you think it needs to work. You start to have miracles when you start to let go of your need to be right and your scripts. Just the opposite of everything we're inclined to do. The average person thinks it's all about getting life and everything else to act out his script. And the truth is saying, no, the miracles start to happen when your mind is unencumbered with what? Pressure. And all day long trying to make everybody behave and everything behave the way you want it to behave is enormous pressure.
Exhausting.
It's exhausting. That's what it's saying. We're so exhausted with trying to act out what our imagination and our fantasies tell us we should want, that we don't allow the miracle to extend that would actually make life go the way that we really want it to go, which is loving and peaceful and safe. Right? So, and here we begin to touch upon the essence of my teaching, which is I need do nothing. I need do nothing. Okay, before I go any further, any ahas, any thoughts, any questions about what I've covered so far, whether it's you online or in the room?
So as you were talking about letting go of controlling other people.
You get a little cough drop while you're talking. I'm listening.
Yeah. Letting go of other people, doing what we want them to do. I remembered that it's also important to let ourselves off the hook, and we have to let go of perfection.
Absolutely. Well, the scripts I write for myself are the ones that I beat myself up about the most. Where I'm supposed to be at this point in my life, what I should have accomplished by this point in my life, the kind of relationships I ought to have at this point in my life, the kind of abs I ought to have at this point in time in my life. So I got all these things at this point in my life that should be happening, and so I'm under enormous pressure to be what I think I ought to be, and that's blocking my miracles too.
That's the most for me.
Remember, the truth is the opposite to everything the world teaches you.
Yep.
Don't forget that. You want to know what the truth is about anything. Say, the world says, I'm in my body, I must not be in my body. The world says I'm a victim, I must be responsible and a creator. The world says I'm alone, then I must be surrounded by a lot of mighty companions in love. Whatever the world tells you, it's wrong. Because it's based on separation. That's why it's wrong. It's based on the idea that we're separate from each other, that we're different from each other, that we're disconnected from each other, and disconnected from that which created us. And that is the basis of the. It's like everything based on the idea that the world is flat would be wrong, because the basic premise is wrong. The world isn't flat. So that's what the Course is saying. Anything that we do based on the idea that we're separate from each other is incorrect. It is not true. So all the premises that come from that bring one way he said you can tell that it's the wrong premise. You have fear and you don't feel safe. And if you feel fear and you don't feel safe, you're listening to something the world taught you. You're listening to something you made up. Think about how many unhappy people are trying to tell you how to live your life. Think about how many people that don't have prosperity and abundance be trying to tell you what to do with your own money. Think about how many people who don't have loving relationships that got opinions about yours and just telling you. Think about it. Consider the source the next time someone is trying to tell you how you should live your life and what you're doing. Are they truly happy? Are they truly happy? Here, Chris.
So it's interesting that you're talking about, thinking the way things should be and the way things should go, and then that's when it doesn't work out. One of the things I've been asking myself recently is, what do I really want? What do I really want? And one of the things that I'm finding is that what I think I want is what I think society thinks I should want, or what my family thinks I should want, or even what I think God thinks I should want. And so I'm trying to go deeper into being like, what do I really want? And at times, well, a lot of the time, I'm afraid to hear the answer to that, because I'm afraid that what I really want is to be in the ego and to not leave the ego and to be like damned, I guess. And so,
if you don't mind me asking, why? Why do you want to be in the ego? Why do you want to be damned? Why do you want to continue in the ego?
Well, a big part of me, and well, it's interesting because as you asked that, like a big part of me is like, no, I don't want to be in that. But like, I don't really know what I want. or the way I should be. And I'm bringing it back to like what you were saying, that, you know, you think that, you know, your life needs to be this way, or you need to do these things, and that's where you get messed up. And that's what's happening to me. Like, I've always thought I needed to do this, especially in spirituality. I'm like, I need to be like this or do this, and I'm finding that, you know, that's tripping me up. And so I'm finding that I don't really know what I want, but I'm starting to know what I don't want.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that I think is awesome that we overlook when we study these books is that it's answering every question that you're asking. It's interesting how we'll get the answers and we're still insist that we don't know what the answer is. Like, you just take the first few paragraphs of what we just read. We start out by saying a prayer, right? And that prayer said, I am one with my Creator now. I choose to fulfill my purpose. What's my purpose? By extending only the reflection of myself. And I am but love. So my purpose, what I really want, is to extend and be my real self and extend my real self. And my real self is love. Then it went on to tell us right after that if you were to allow yourself to let go of that pressure of trying to figure out what you want and trying to make everything be the way you want it to be, then the miracle will extend from you and the universe will take care of you in ways beyond your wildest imagination. So again, it's saying, I know you don't know what you want, but what you want is love. What you want is peace. What you want is happiness. What you want is safety. You know what you want. When most people are saying they don't know what they want, what they're saying is, I don't know the form or the appearance that I think what I want should come in.
Yes.
Right, and that's the booby prize. See, that's the booby prize. The how is none of your business. How it's going to show up and the form it's going to show up is none of your business. All you will do is delay the manifestation of what you want by you trying to decide what it is, because you know you don't know. It'd be kind of be different if I said, I want to have a brand new Honda. Okay, then I can go down to the dealer and go get me a brand new Honda. I'm not pondering that I'd like to have a Honda car. But if I'm sitting up here and I have not any idea for sure what I want, then it would make sense for me to ask my higher self, what is it that I want? What is it that I want? What kind of car should I ask for? See, what's happening is Spirit is trying to constantly get us to get to the point where we'll start to ask for guidance, that we will start to ask for help. That if you don't know what would make you happy, just admit, I don't know what would make me happy. What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say? Who do you want me to say it to? Because I know I'm here to extend love. See, now that I know I'm here to extend love, I'm not spending time wondering about what kind of house I want, what kind of car I want, what kind of clothes I want. Because I know that once you seek the truth, everything else will be added onto you. Because none of those things really matter anyway. When I say that they don't matter, that doesn't mean that you wouldn't let yourself have those things. I'm saying that those things are neutral and they have nothing to do with your happiness. And as long as you think those things make you happy or don't make you happy, you're still in an asleep state. What's going to make you happy is you're having a state of mind that's full of love and happiness and peace, Earl. And I want you to hear that. It has nothing to do with a body or a person or money or fame or power. Don't you fall for what everybody else is falling for and keep searching for and running after all the time, even though it never works. Now it's time for you to wake your little black butt up now. Okay? You're not gonna stay on the ride anymore. You're getting off the merry-go-round of hell. You're gonna say, I am one with my Creator. I'm ready to fulfill my function, and my function is to extend love. The miracle was going to happen if you let go of the pressure of trying to make everything and everybody be the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
Now notice, in talking to myself, I'm telling myself to apply the truth to me. And in that process, I'm not insisting that anybody else do it, and I'm also not insisting that anybody else agree with me or say it's okay. You move faster when you apply the truth to yourself and not try to worry about whether anybody else agrees with you at all. You know, so everything I say to you is I'm saying it to me. And what I'm saying, Chris, is when you don't know the form, ask for the content and tell the Holy Spirit to decide for you. I don't know what I want, so I'm going to say I do know the content I want. The content I want is freedom. The content I want is love. The content I want is abundance. The content I want is oneness. The content I want is peace. Go for content when you don't know the form you want it to show up in. And then it will show up in the form that allows that content to show up for you the fastest.
So I've been asking for total fulfillment.
Well,
And that's
then,
what I want.
okay, you're asking for total fulfillment. Then keep asking for total fulfillment. And you're impatient, according to the Course, because you don't believe you're going to receive it. Okay, he says that impatience is always coming from not being certain of the outcome. You don't really believe you're going to get what you're asking for. That's why you're impatient. A person that's patient is a person that's sure they're going to receive what they're asking for. If someone tells me after dinner, then we're going to go dancing, then I'm patient about going dancing because I'm certain about what's supposed to happen after dinner. We're going dancing. So I'm not all through dinner impatient about dancing because I'm certain of the outcome. I know where it's headed and I can be patient. So believing that Spirit knows what's best for me more than I know what's best. Believing that Spirit doesn't know what's best for me and that I know what's best for me is the reason why happiness takes so long. Because while you're busy trying to act out your plan, it's delaying the universe, giving you exactly what you want as the miracle that you deserve because you are loved by that which created you. So the biggest spiritual step any of us can make is to get to the point that you're willing to admit you don't know what makes you happy, and you're just coming up with things that you think will make you happy, and then assigning roles to everyone that you know to help achieve the fantasy you have about what you think is going to make you happy. And while you're doing that, the universe could be taking care of you in ways that would blow your mind.
Ooh, yes.
You know, what were you getting ready to say, Paris?
Well, I was feeling inspired by what you were talking about, and it reminded me of a few weeks ago when we were surrendering the game of seeking, because it's the very energy of seeking that will just continue us for seeking, right? And so we're surrendering that game, and now we're playing the game of finding.
Right.
And so maybe in response to your asking, it's more of turning it and saying, I'm recognizing my fulfillment. I'm going to choose to recognize my fulfillment today.
The Course says a prayer should take the form of saying, I want to be able to recognize what I already have, which is similar to what you just got to saying. I want to recognize the love I already have. I want to recognize the abundance I already have. I want to recognize the relationships that are beautiful that I already have. Because when you ask for what you already have, there's no need for time to receive it. I'm asking for the heart-shaped glasses that I already have.
Boom.
Boom, they're on my face. So what we're being told is there are things we already have that we don't know that we have, that we could ask to become aware of that we have, and those things show up faster than I don't have it, and so now I'm going to go out here and try to seek it and get it. Because like we heard a few weeks ago, that if you're in the game of seeking, then in order to be a successful seeker, you have to never find what you're seeking.
Ever.
Because that keeps you seeking because you want to be a seeker. So if you want to be a seeker, you can't ever get what you are seeking to stay a seeker. So it's talking about how when you seek something, you are unconsciously or consciously keep pushing it away from you so that you can continue to seek it. You know, so if I'm seeking a relationship, and I'm seeking it, and especially if I'm seeking it from the perspective that I don't already have it, then I'm gonna keep pushing relationships away consciously and unconsciously. Anybody else? Let me look online here. I want to recognize what I already have. I already have what I'm looking for. Okay, you talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you, Myrna. I'm talking to you, girlfriend. Doggone right. Okay.
Okay, so just along the lines of really checking in with Spirit before I make an action or before I take action or think that I know, how do I really ensure that I'm operating from the place of Spirit rather than my ego mind? Like, I've been really great at asking. I'm like, what do you want me to do? And I'm not I don't know. Like, I'm like, oh, I guess.
Well, what you're doing is first of all, and living in the question, that in itself is opening yourself up to receive wisdom beyond your own. So the real lesson is to get in the habit of asking.
Okay.
See, just your willingness to stop and ask is much more than 90% of people around you do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. They make up their mind what they want, and then they ask God for guidance.
Yeah.
I make up my mind what I want, then I ask God what to do. That's the way we do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what's best for me. I make it up, and then I want the universe to do what I want it to do based on what I've made up. I don't ask the universe what would be the best thing for me to do. I've decided that you're just supposed to play the role of giving it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So we approach God as if God is a genie. And you just rub God's belly. You think of what you want.
Aww.
It's like a little kid, right? When you're a little kid, that's what you do, especially at Christmas time. You think the purpose of your parents or Santa Claus or whatever is you think of what you want, and it gives it to you. Even though you're doing it with the wisdom of a child. But we don't realize we never stop that. Even into adults, we do the same thing. We come up with what we think we want, and whether it's the best thing for us or not, we think the universe should give it to us. So we don't know how many times we've been saved by that relationship that you asked for that didn't happen, that job that you applied for that they didn't hire you. Mm-hmm. We don't realize that was as much a blessing as you getting what you thought you wanted. Mm-hmm. The fact that you haven't got what you think you asked for, that should be all you need to know it wasn't for your own best interest to have it. When you wake up, you realize nothing is lacking that you need. Whatever you really need will always be made available to you, and everything that's not, you don't need it. But that takes a lot of spiritual maturity to get to that point. That the universe is benign, and it is wise. And just because you ask for something doesn't mean, and the thing that's eluded you the most is the thing that you need the least. That's really make you mad. Because it means that it is not showing up because the way you would use it is incorrect and would delay you. That for some reason what you want it for is not for your own best interest, even though you think it is. And it takes a lot of trust to get to the point that you go, I asked for this, it didn't happen, it was the best thing that could have happened to me, it was helpful that it did not happen. But that's where we're going, you all. That's where we're going. And so it's saying to us, I need do nothing. Let's explore that. That's a really powerful statement. I need do nothing. It says, this is not a passive state. I need do nothing doesn't mean be passive. It says, this is not a passive state of just accepting. One thing that keep in mind is that if you're hearing something from Spirit, God's answer is always some form of peace. God's answer is always some form of peace. And the other thing is, you know you're in the right attitude about what you're asking for, if it's okay if it happens and okay if it doesn't. As long as you attach to the outcome, you're in your ego. Because you're still saying you think you know what's best for yourself from using your small perspective. Because we only see a fragment of everything.
Okay.
In other words, sitting here, we would have no idea that the earth was round.
Right.
Right?
Sure.
So we're looking at everything from a very limited perspective. Right? So suppose we were willing to listen to what an astronaut was telling us who was orbiting the Earth. Well, he has a much broader perspective of what's going on, so we could get more accurate information about what's happening. That's our relationship to Spirit. We have just a little idea of what we're looking at. And what we're being told is there's a higher perspective that we could tap into, and then this is telling us how to do it. One of the things it's saying is if you want to tap into your power, then the first thing you should do is get rid of the pressure that you're putting on yourself by trying to make everything go the way you think it needs to go. That's number one. Okay. The next thing he says is remind yourself that you need do nothing. That's not a passive state. It's not a passive state of just accepting the fact that I need to do nothing, so I'll just show up. And I'll follow my impulses and not think too deeply or wonder what I'm doing. I really don't need to do anything since none of it matters. That's another ego perspective. I don't really need, since none of it matters anyway, then I don't need to do anything. What I need do nothing means, Earl. Got big old eyes when they really get It means quite actively to learn and master the art of you need do nothing. What does that mean? To find that spaciousness within you in which you are willing to allow that voice within you that is eternally connected to your source to be the vehicle through which you receive your guidance. I'll say it again so I can hear you. I want you to hear this, Raj, okay? I'll say it again. You got to find a space within you that you're actually willing to listen to your inner guidance. That you're willing to listen to the part of you that's eternally connected to God. So that you can receive your guidance. Since most decisions we make are not life or death decisions that must be made in 5 minutes, if you don't know what to do, then that's okay. Wait till you do. You don't know what to do. It's not a life or death situation. So why are you forcing yourself to do something even though you don't know what to do? As if you don't do what you don't know what to do immediately, then everything is going to go to hell. Right?
Yeah.
It could be, I don't know what to do. I'm going to wait until I have some sense of what to do. Whether that's 24 hours from now, 48 hours from now, or 72 hours from now, or even next week. Why? Because my life doesn't depend on it. My life doesn't depend on this decision. I can afford to wait until I get clear guidance about what to do. Right? So he says, in the pure recognition that you have no purpose except the extension of love. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, I need do nothing means I'm going to create a place within me where I am willing to allow the voice for God inside of me that's connected to source to be the vehicle through which I receive guidance, because I really know that the only reason why I'm here is to extend love. So I just need to get some guidance about the best way to do that and the best way to remove the blocks to doing that. See, I used to still think I had some other purpose other than extending love. So it would be, God, how do I become a better teacher? God, how to become a better father? How to become a better grandfather? How do I become a better friend? And how do I become more successful? I was asking for everything, but how do I fulfill my purpose of extending love? And until I started to ask that, I hadn't heard what I was being taught. And so you may end up extending love as the president of your own company. You may end up extending love through getting a PhD. So all that kind of stuff, you can still do it. But if you don't remember that the reason why you're there as the president of the company is to extend love, then you're still just as lost as you ever were. And that job will not fulfill you. It will be something else that you'll get tired of. You'll feel like it's a lot of pressure, and you'll be busy thinking of the next thing that you think is going to make you happy that doesn't. The Course in Miracles says we get up in the morning to figure out the newest way we're going to deceive ourselves today. We call it planning our day. Okay, how do I want to fool myself where my happiness is located today? Let's see. Who do I want to call so we can fool ourselves together? You know. Because if I get up in the morning and I think I have any other purpose other than extending the love of God, then I have missed the boat. I'm here to extend the love of God. How would I like to do that today? I'm here to extend the love of God. How would I like to express that today? Oh, I think I might call you up and say, let's go to a movie. Or, you know what I'm saying? First be clear what your purpose is, then come up with how would I like to experience that today? Because my happiness doesn't depend on it anyway, so I can choose whatever I want to choose today and give myself joy through it. Because the joy is going to come from me. It's not going to come from you. So I can always have a good time with Cheryl if I recognize the joy I have with Cheryl is being generated from me and not from Cheryl. See, most people are hunting for people that they think are going to make them happy. That's why they search. That's why I single you out. You single anybody out for any reason, is you're just singling out somebody you think is going to meet some need that you have. It has nothing to do with your being generous and loving. It's the person you think is going to act out your script and meet your need the most is who you're attracted to. That's why I'm attracted to you and I'm not attracted to you. Is because you're the one that I think will meet the need that I have and you don't. That's why I came up to you and said, let's go out. As opposed to you. But if I want the truth, and I want to extend love, everybody in this room is equally valuable for something that's real. I wouldn't choose one person over another person if all I wanted to do was extend love and the truth. So you can practice the truth with everybody. You can only try to meet your special needs with people you single out based on what you've experienced and learned in the past about what your needs are. So yeah, when somebody say that to you, it doesn't sound like it's very spiritual. You know, that I'm just singling out people to meet my needs and then saying I'm attracted to them. But that's the way it is. When somebody pick you out, there's a need that they have that they think you can meet. Or everybody would be equally valuable if all I wanted to do was practice the truth. I can practice it with you, I can practice it with you, I can practice it with you. Why do I single you out? For a fantasy. Everybody can give me the truth, but everybody can't give me my fantasy.
But then I can be conscious in the fantasy though, right?
Being conscious in the fantasy is what it's all about. What it's all about is never going unconscious.
Right.
Okay.
So
Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you. The only time a fantasy will hurt you is when you forget it's a fantasy. Other than that, a fantasy can't hurt you. What hurts us is us deceiving ourselves. If you don't deceive here's a very crude example. If I saw you as a liar and that you never told the truth, and I stayed aware that you were a liar, and you never told the truth, well, then you're not going to hurt me with your lies because I never will forget that you were a liar and I shouldn't believe anything you're saying. So you couldn't hurt me. I forget you're a liar, then I can get caught up in your Ponzi scheme. You understand what I'm saying? The only time you get hurt by a fantasy or an illusion is when you forget it's a fantasy or an illusion. Okay, so you can have a lot of fun on Earth as long as you remember that Earth is not permanent and it's an illusion in the sense that it's temporary. But when you forget that, or let's say you're in a special relationship, and then you forget that all special relationships are bargains made with guilt, and y'all going to try to use guilt to manipulate each other if the other one don't do what the other one want them to do, then you maybe going to hurt yourself in the relationship. But if you know that a person is loving you only because you're meeting some need that you're meeting for them, then you also know that the minute you don't meet that need, they're probably not going to be around. So therefore you won't be hurt if they decide that you don't meet their need and somebody else does. See, the pain is going to come from me fooling myself, not from what they did. It's from me fooling myself. So that's what the course, that's what these books are trying to tell us, that our pain is not coming from the things that we're asking for. Our pain is coming from not realizing that the things we're asking for are neutral, that the things we're asking for are things that we give the meaning to, so we're the ones that determine how much we enjoy it, how much peace we're going to have out of it. It's only when you forget that you're the creator of your experience and you're not the victim of your experience that you hurt yourself. You know, I got into metaphysics and New Thought and all this stuff that teaches me universal law because I didn't want to be limited by what I was taught about my race. Because I heard a lot of victim consciousness growing up as a black man. Period. All I heard was I was a victim of this, a victim of that, a victim of the other, a victim of this, a victim of that. People had to like me. And I went, whoa, there's got to be some laws and something I can count on that has nothing to do with whether I'm liked. And that's what the universal principles and metaphysical principles do. They tell you, you create your own reality. Whatever you think about, focus on, and release it. You will perceive it. You will create it. So there's nothing that you can't have if you tap into spirit and universal law. It works whether you're black, white, Indian, don't make no difference. It's your consciousness that's going to create your reality. Change your consciousness, change your life. I could deal with that because that didn't have to do with anybody outside of me liking me or agreeing with me. I'm going to keep saying that. What's real is true for everybody. What's real, everybody can use. And it has nothing to do with personality, nothing to do with being liked, how you look, or none of that stuff. And that's good news. I keep thinking this is good news. Maybe I'm crazy, but I keep thinking the stuff I'm teaching is good news. But a lot of times people look at me like, this is not good news. You know, it's like, this is not good news. I'm not going, you're being told you love, you could have whatever you really wanted if you let go of the, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, like, what the hell is wrong with us? Well, there's a part of me that doesn't believe it. There's a part of me that doesn't think I deserve it. there's a part of me that's affronted by the whole idea that I could be loved unconditionally and happy. So I'm trying to think about everything that you're saying. I'm trying to think of what's wrong with it, why it can't work, and why it's not true, because I don't freaking think I deserve to be happy, and that's my problem. I don't believe I deserve to be happy. Do not tell yourself out of 9, what, how many billion people out there on the
At
planet?
least 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Don't you dare tell yourself for 1 second out of 7 billion freaking people, there's nobody you can have friendships and relationships with. That's crazy. Are you that pathetic? Are you that unlovable that out of billions of people, no one could be somebody that you could get along with? That is not true. That is not true. The universe could send you more love than you could ever get around to. The once you listen to what it's saying, which is what? 2 things. Said, there go the pressure that you're putting on yourself by constantly trying to come up with what you think is going to make you happy. Remember that you're here to extend love, and the universe will provide for you in ways that will blow your mind. Know that you need do nothing. What does that mean? Learn how to listen to your inner guidance. Spend some time getting in touch with your spiritual guidance that everybody has, that they're not taking the time to listen to because they're too busy coming up with what they think is going to make them happy. And they know from their whole life they haven't been successful at it, but they still keep trying. Right? Then he goes on to say, it's not your purpose to survive as a body mind. It's not your purpose to keep the same house that you had for the last 20 years. It's not your purpose to be in relationship with this person. It's not your purpose to be in relationship with this person. It's not your purpose to be in relationship with this person or that person for the entirety of your life. That's not your real purpose. It's not your purpose to accomplish great worldly things. It is not your real purpose to be wealthy. It is not your purpose to do anything when you wake up except be that conduit through which love extends itself. When the person says that, you meet a person and they go in your life to be a conduit for the extension of love, give them your phone number if they're sincere. You'll feel that. You know, you will learn how to tell when you're in the presence of someone that's not going to be a pain in your butt to be with. Because you'll know what they'll be talking like. You know what they'll be saying. You know how they'll be expressing themselves.
Excuse me. So a while back, you were talking about the person that's lying, and if you understand that they're lying, and when they're talking, you'll know that.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
That's not what I
That's
said.
what I was about to say. I probably misheard.
You did.
Okay.
It's always frightening when people tell me what I've seen. It terrifies the hell out of me. But go ahead. I get you. I
You jumped
get
in
you.
before I was going to say it, and I probably misheard it.
Yes.
So could you explain that again so I can get...
Okay, what I was saying, it wasn't about dissecting whether or not you could tell whether the person, I was just using an example. That's hypothetically saying, if, let's say you knew a person always lied.
Right.
That was just a hypothetical situation.
Right.
Right? Then they're not going to hurt me or get me caught up in their lie if I remember they lied.
Right. So I guess my question is...
Yes.
Like, we're always told to see the person in the present moment without dragging their past up, aren't we?
You're missing my point.
Okay.
You're analyzing the hypothetical situation that I'm sharing to make my point.
All right, and this
My
is
point
one of my
is,
stumbling blocks,
my
so-
point is, you only hurt yourself when you're deceiving yourself
Yes.
about anything. That's the only point that I'm making. And if you recognize the truth of any situation, it can't hurt you. If I recognize that, if I accepted the fact that my body was not eternal, even if I am, if I accepted the fact that the bodies of my children, the bodies of my friends, and the bodies of my relatives are not permanent, then when their bodies were dropped, I wouldn't freak out
Right.
because I'm not deceived about the temporary nature of the body. You follow what I'm saying? It's just, keep it simple. Our ego always wants to make things complicated. If you recognize something as an illusion, it can't hurt you. If I go, I want to experience love with you, but I know the love I experience with you is coming from me, then your not loving me is not going to hurt my feelings because I wasn't deceiving myself into thinking that the love comes from you. You see what I'm saying? The deception would be me telling myself, my value comes from the love that you're giving me. And for some reason you decided not to give it anymore, so now I'm devastated. Where's the pain coming from? It's coming from me deceiving myself that the love comes from you, that my happiness comes from you. That's the deception. Is everybody with me on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you're hurting, it's because you have deceived yourself about a situation. That's it. I know we like to be more complex than that. Because we fool ourselves so much and we go through pain so much, it's hard to admit to yourself that you're wrong that much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You, on the spiritual path, you have to actually get to a point where you would go, I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong about that, I'm seeing this wrong, I'm seeing that wrong, I'm hurting about this, I'm seeing something wrong, I'm hurting about that, I'm seeing something wrong, I'm hurting about another, I'm seeing. In the beginning, you're going to sound like you're telling you, but that is the best moment for your healing that you could ever get to. If you get to the point that you'd rather be happy more than you want to be right.
Yes.
So you're willing to say, I'm hurting right now, I must be seeing something about this incorrectly. I'm upset over here, I must be seeing something about that incorrectly. And after a while, since you'll start to see correctly, those pains will happen less and less and less and less, and you'll find yourself in the state that you've always dreamed of being in. And you'll find it's easier to be there than you ever could have imagined. Because in your imagination, it has something to do with something or somebody outside yourself speaking or asking or acting differently. And another way to have what you want is simply ask for it. You know, I would really like to go to the movie next Friday night. Is there anybody in the room that would like to go to the movie next Friday night to see blah, 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 blah? And you might be shocked at how many people say, I would love to go to the movie with you next Friday night to see blah, 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 blah. You know, you could just ask.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing most people think of. You could just ask. Why do I do that? Because somebody might say they want to go to the movie with me that I frankly don't want to go to the movie. That's why I don't want to say it. I want to be able to pick out my fantasy person in here.
Yeah.
And that's who I want to go to the movie with me. Why? Because I have a need.
Yeah.
And you're the one that I've decided is going to meet that need.
Yeah.
But that course says, we accept or reject people based on their special parts.
Yes.
And that is the truth. That's the absolute truth. We
Yeah.
do accept or reject people based on their body parts. How their body parts look. What shape is their body parts in? You know.
And their actions, right? Like
Well,
observing
it's
their
kind of
actions.
high, but you usually start with the body parts.
Yeah.
Because usually the person walk in the room and you
Well, you
go,
can see.
damn, she hot. See, you haven't heard one word she said, but already I'm. Right? That's the body parts. Then maybe we'll get to a conversation. Then if she crazy, I'll just bring her to a class. You know what I'm saying? But I know y'all. It's kind of. I know we like to think we're much more enlightened than we actually are. I'm sorry. I know we would love to believe all our motivations are coming from the highest level of all, and don't want to just admit that I'm attracted to you because of the way you look, what you have, your status, and where you live, and all that stuff. I don't want to admit that, so I'm going to pretend I'm really more concerned about your mind than your body. You know, we know it's a bunch of crap. You know, until we wake up. Then when we wake up, that's very true. So I found that it's easier to manifest what you want if you tell the truth. Just tell the truth. You're not sinful. You're not bad because you are doing what you were trained to do, programmed to do, and taught to do. We were taught to do that.
Yeah.
We were taught the values that we have. So don't beat yourself up because you're perfectly doing what you were taught to do. We were taught to believe we were victims. We were taught to believe we were powerless. We were taught to believe it's power, money, fame, physical pleasure. We were taught to believe that money and medicine and who you know and being liked and knowing the right people, that these things provide for us. So don't beat yourself up just because you learned the illusions of the world in a beautiful way. If you're a good little boy and girl, you probably learned it really, really good. You know, if you were the kind of like really obedient child, you probably got the illusions of the world better than the average person does. So don't beat yourself up because you're being freed from a way of thinking that doesn't serve you. Just be glad that somebody is telling you about it and you learned it, and forgive yourself. You didn't do anything wrong. You did what you were taught to do. You know?
So, I don't know if this is accurate or not,
Mm-hmm.
but the thought that I'm getting is that if I keep doing something that hurts me, if I keep doing it over and over and over, then I just gotta admit, well, that's what I want right now. This is what I'm choosing, and this is what I want. Because
Yeah.
I'm not a victim of the world I see. So this is what I want, and this is what I'm choosing. But in me admitting that, it gets undone. It changes.
Well, you
It gets
empower
undone.
yourself. You empower yourself every time you say, I don't have something right now and I don't have it because I don't really want it, so I'm going to admit I don't really want it and I'm going to ask for it. Then it still doesn't show up. Okay, I asked for it, but I didn't really want it, or it wasn't the best thing for me right now. So I ask again. Oh, it's not happening. Either it's not something that should be happening for me right now and it wouldn't be in my best interest, or I don't really want it. Oh, I asked for it again. It showed up. Oh, finally, I really wanted it. You follow what I'm saying? There's no limit to how many times you can ask for it, right? But every time you ask for it and it doesn't happen, don't act like you're being deprived of it by something outside of yourself. You just weren't ready for it right then, or maybe it wasn't the right thing for you right then. It might be tomorrow. So there's nothing wrong with turning around and asking tomorrow, but if it doesn't happen tomorrow, you go, oh, it's for my own best interest. I don't really know my own best interest, so evidently right now that wasn't the best thing that happened to me right now, and I'll ask tomorrow. But at no point would you ever say, I'm asking for it, it's not happening, and I really want it. Unless you have done one thing. You have given your higher self the power of attorney. What does that mean? If you're a person that's smart enough to say, if it's your will. See, a smart person is going to go, I want this, I want that, I like to have that, I like to have that. Decide for me, Holy Spirit. Decide for me, God. Decide for me, my higher self, if I will receive this. You ask, but you always give the power of attorney to God. That's what I'm talking about what smart people do. I'm not talking about what people do who don't know the truth yet. They're smart too, but they just haven't learned it yet. Everybody with me on this? But I know I get all fired up. I can't help it. I can't sit up like this. I'm just not that kind of teacher.
Thank God.
I can't do it. I can't river dance teach. You know. Yeah, river dance to kill black people. They die. Right? You try to get a black person to stand still and just move their feet like that. They die. Right? We can't do this. We can't do it. You know? We have to exude, this people.
Yes.
Okay?
Exude away.
Thank you, darling. Exude away.
I love it.
I love it. I love it too. I'm a bit much for some people, but I'm just right for others. I'm just perfect for some people.
And not enough for others.
Yeah, some people want more. Every time I want more of you. I want more of you. Some people see me never come back. That's okay. Some people see me come back. That's okay. Because what? Happiness doesn't depend on another person's reaction to me.
Yeah.
That's the most freeing idea that the truth ever gave me, because I was one of these people that wanted to accommodate and please everybody. Anybody relate to that?
Oh yeah.
You always want to please everybody.
yeah.
And then there's a part of you that always chooses the person that you can never please. That's the trick, They go right for the person that'll never be pleased by anything that you do. Why? Because I'm not pleased by anything I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I attract people who are never pleased by anything I do. I'm not giving me a break. Why should they? Right? So
Earl, just real quick. So when I pray then, God, decide this for me through the Holy Spirit in ways beyond my wildest imagination. What will it take? What will it take to be willing? And I don't seem to get that. It's because I'm either not ready or not wanting it right now.
yeah, it must not be in your best interest to have that at this particular time. Or it's not something you really want that you're asking for.
But I just got to keep asking, right?
And then if you really want it, it will manifest. But what you're going to really get is, what you want to get to is the point that if it doesn't manifest, you are okay. That's my point. Because remember, whenever you ask for anything, the thing that you're asking for just represents a thing that you're hoping to experience.
Yeah.
It's always an experience that we're asking for. If I ask for a car, I want the experience of transportation. You know what I'm saying? You know, if I ask for a relationship, I want the experience of joining. So it's always the experience that you're asking for. It's the feeling that you're asking for. So why don't you just directly ask for the feeling, the experience? Since it's the experience you want, why do I want a house? Well, I can feel secure. Well, why don't you just ask for security? Maybe the security has nothing to do with the friggin' house. Which means now you can have the experience of security without $1,000 a month house note that you're worried about paying.
Yep.
Which means you're not feeling secure at all. Because now you're scared you're going to be evicted. At least you wasn't afraid of being evicted when you didn't have a house in the first place. See, we make up all the hard work that we do. We make it up. You're the one that came up with the notion of getting a PhD as a doctor. You thought that up. Nothing in the universe said that you had to do that. Then you work your can off, and then you get mad at the amount of hours you got to study, as if somebody else created that experience for you. But that was your decision. So the next time you say you want something, you might want to consider, do you love it enough that the achievement of it and the things you have to do to achieve it turn you on as much as the thing itself? I love sharing. I've taught for 30 years because I love it. Not for any other reason than I love it. Because then I'm willing to go through whether people come, whether they don't. Whether income come in or whether they don't. Whether people like me or whether they don't. Why? Because my love for what I'm doing inspires me to continue to do it no matter what. I counsel with people, and they'll be telling me every reason in the world why they should try to be in their relationship. Their security gives them, or they might have a spiritual growth. And I say, are you in love with them? What? I said, are you in love with them? It's like that's the strangest thing that I could have ever asked them. Because if you're not in love with the person, you're not going to want to stick with them through all the things that come up. So why are you even going through all this? If you don't love them, then when stuff comes up, you out of there in 2 seconds. So first, want to join. Want to be with that person.
Yeah.
Be turned on by them. Don't be in there, but just because I need to have spiritual growth. That's crazy. You can have spiritual growth with somebody you like. You can have spiritual growth with somebody you enjoy. You can have spiritual growth with somebody you're excited about seeing. It's not two separate things. Like spiritual growth always, well, what do you say? We think, a lot of people think spiritual growth means taking something that you don't like and making yourself like it.
Oh, God.
Right? So spiritual growth is, I don't like this, but if I grow spiritually, I'm going to like it. And the Course in Miracles is a book that says, you'll never make misery happiness. Nobody's asking you to make misery happiness.
Thank you.
Don't spend all your time trying to like the people you don't like. Spend your time with the people you like, and then when you're around the people you don't like, you won't even notice it. Because you're so full of peace and love, you don't even notice it. But that's not the way I used to do it. I used to not pay attention and spend time with the people that I liked, and I would be working on my relationship with somebody that was a whole big challenge. And I thought that was spiritual growth. And I had my list of the people I needed to forgive. That's what I called it. So I'm going to spend all my time trying to like some sucker I can't stand. And I'll call that spiritual growth. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you see it all the time. It's like, okay, I don't like you. It means there's something inside of me I need to take a look at. There's a change in my perception that needs to happen. You made me aware of that. You did your job. Bye.
For real.
You made me aware that I need to do it differently.
Thank you,
you did your part. Mwah. Check you later. You know what I'm saying? I know I need to work on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
But that don't mean I'm gonna form a relationship with you to see you day in and day out.
Yeah.
That's the ego at its finest, right?
I don't need the constant reminder that I need to do this. I got it now. I need to be more patient. Thank you. Thank you. So, I'm going to go further now. Okay, I went off on that. change it.
Yes, you did.
I never let my subject matter get in the way of what I have to say.
Oh, gosh.
Good job.
Thank you. I don't let my subject matter get in the way of what I have to say. Yeah, all right. That's right, Sophia. Love looking at your hidden forms of guilt as they are triggered and let them go. That's right. That's absolutely right. Okay, let's see what next we have to say that drives us bananas.
Vanity.
Let me say something else we don't want to hear.
Apparently we can take it.
I want to hear it.
That's right. Thank you for sharing, Chris. And Peter, thank you. Thank you. That's right. Now tell me back what I just said. No!
He said thank you.
Progress,
Good idea.
Now you hear me. We making progress, man. We making progress. Okay. As you come, truly, to allow love to be your greatest beloved. As you set aside all other idols, what are the all other idols? The need to hold on to the house, the need to have a certain amount of money in the bank. These are idols. The need to have certain people in your life.
To be you, though.
I know, it's got to be you.
It's got to be you.
It's got to be you. I know, we were meant to be. We were meant to be.
Idol.
I know. I'll ignore the fact that you're running as fast as you can in the opposite direction. We're meant to be together.
Don't you see that?
Don't you see that? What's wrong with you? Anybody ever wanted somebody that didn't want them?
Yes.
Yes.
More than once.
Several times.
Yes.
That was why I chose them.
Because they didn't want me.
That's because they didn't want me.
So clearly I didn't want it.
That's right. And actually, it was like the universe again was protecting you.
For sure.
Somebody that didn't love you, didn't want you, is a good thing. You see?
Oh, yeah.
You were the one that was trying to hurt yourself because it would be more painful to be with somebody that didn't want you.
Oh my God.
The fact that they wouldn't join with you was a sign of their love. The person you want to watch out for is the person that don't like you and stays with you.
Hey.
That's the cruel joker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because not only do they not want you, I've seen situations where, let's say, one partner wasn't giving the other partner any kind of love or attention and criticizing them and judging them. And as soon as somebody else showed the slightest interest in that person, they'd be freaking out. You're not appreciating them or anything, but as soon as it looks like anybody else is interested in them, then now that person is all jealous and angry and upset. That is cruel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to love you. I'm not going to acknowledge you. I'm not going to be affectionate with you. But I'm going to make darn sure nobody else does.
Yep. Oh my
And
God.
people put up with that kind of stuff. It blows my mind. It is very common.
I know.
That is not
Yeah.
unusual at all. And if you're doing that, that's your call for love.
Oh, yeah.
It's just your call. You innocent. You just haven't gotten to the point that you love yourself enough yet. And they're helping you make that decision.
Yeah.
Great. So, as you come truly to allow love to be your greatest beloved, as you set aside all other idols, the need to hold on to the house, the need to have certain dollars in the bank, the need to have certain people in your life, as you come to see that all of that is what? Part of the world of illusion. As you come to love. Start loving love. That's deep.
That is deep.
Then you will come to love yourself. See, if I fall in love with love, then love is all I want.
Yeah.
And so I'll come to love myself because all I do is love. For you are love and only love. As you come to love as your beloved, check that sentence out. More and more, as you start to make love your beloved, you will discover that you are guided at that point on a path of miracles in which more power seems to be getting extended through you. What does that mean? It means you will begin to witness that the universe seems to support you more and more in ways that you could have never imagined. I'll say it again, because the ego will try to tell us that what we were just told is difficult, and it's not. Notice that what you were just told had nothing to do with anybody else. It said to us, you are love. So you need to love love as your beloved. More and more, you will discover that you what? Are guided. See, that's the other big word. Guided. You are guided on a path of miracles in which more power seems to be extended through you. You will start to see the universe supporting you more and more in ways you could have never imagined. That's what I was saying, Chris. The
That's
universe,
good news.
yes, spirit can support you in ways beyond your imagination. Your imagination
Yes.
is limited compared to God's imagination. Stop selling yourself short by wanting the things you think of.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need to stop selling ourselves short by thinking that we can think the grandest thoughts and desires for us.
Yeah.
When you actually hear that, don't you see the fallacy of that? That we sit back and we think we can think of these incredible things for us to experience, and the way a master is saying, actually, the truth is, you could be supported more and more in ways that what you could have never imagined. You could have a relationship that's better than you could have ever imagined.
Woo!
You could experience your abundance in ways you could have never imagined. You can have fun
Yay.
in ways you have never
Yes.
imagined. You could have fulfillment in ways you could have never imagined. But you have to love love.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I love love.
Okay.
All right?
I'm so down.
Okay, let's acknowledge us for So the miracle is that's right, Elizabeth, the miracle is in the unfathomable. The miracle is in the mystery. I call it having a relationship with the unknown.
Yeah.
Have a relationship with the unknown. You have unknown joy, unknown relationships, unknown
Yes.
abundance. So it's there, you just don't know it.
Yes.
So say, I would love to have a relationship with the unknown.
Yes.
And it will start to become known.
And then if I clarify and I would like to recognize my relationship with my unknown abundance, does that give a little oomph to it?
If that inspires you, you want to always word it in a way that gives you a little
Ba-ba boom.
Boom.
But don't forget now, if it's really right, you got to do it
Baba
again.
boom.
Yeah,
And so, all right, I'm going to do a quick recap in a minute. Thank you for sharing with me. We'll do the financial expression of appreciation. Thank you for sharing with me, you all. As a full-time teacher, thank you. Thank you for sharing with me. Go to my website, earlpurdy.com, if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation. Those of you who have been doing that, thank you so much. Those of you who have been doing that, thank you so much. Those of you who don't, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm available for one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions, and I use my knowledge of astrology and numerology, which is off the chain. There is a divine plan for your life. You don't have to keep fumbling around in darkness to find out what the heck you're here for in terms of the form of your experience, even though you know you're here to extend love, because you can have a session and you can have that told to you. You didn't come here without a plan. You didn't just drop in this world because somebody had good and not so good sex. Your life has more. Laura, good to see you, darling.
Yeah, Laura.
Laura, hello. Okay. So I'm telling you, you are powerful, you are meaningful, you are valuable. Don't sell
All right.
yourself short because of what you may have learned about yourself in the past.
That's
And I'm
right.
available for mentoring and coaching. Just go to my website, earlpurdy.com, and it explains all the services that I offer. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. Okay, give me some takeaways. Oh yeah, let me do another commercial. Sunday at 1 o'clock Mountain Time is A Course in Miracles, and I do that live. And also on Thursday nights, I do A Course of Love, and it's incredible, especially the one that's coming up this Thursday, the 16th. Be sure to tune into that. And that's on Facebook Live only. But you can come to the classes, the Course in Miracles class and the Way of Mastery class if you happen to be in this area.
What time is the Way of Love?
The Course of Love is 7 o'clock Mountain Time.
Okay.
Online only.
Online only. Yeah, not here at the church. Okay. So, takeaways. Anybody like to share something that they'd like to take away from tonight's class?
I need do nothing.
I need do nothing. And what does I need do nothing mean?
It does not mean that it's a passive state. It means that you're allowing.
There you go. There you go. And he also said it meant that I was willing to listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit of God inside of me. Like, because I know I'm here to extend love. How? Yeah. Peter.
I need to fall in love with love.
I need to fall in love with love instead of falling in love with a person. Because if I fall in love with love, then love will come through the right person. See, that's what's so cool about it. You know, you never had but one relationship your whole life. I always joke and say, I've only had one woman my whole life. She just was in a lot of different bodies. And you haven't had but one man your whole life. And they're just in a lot of different bodies. Love will keep coming to you in whoever will allow it. And if a person decides that they don't want to allow it for you anymore, then love will bypass them and go to who will let it come through.
Like the parade.
Yeah, like a parade. So don't get caught up in it's got to come through a particular person and you jam yourself up.
Yeah.
You want love more than you want a body. You understand? I want love. I'm not going to get stuck on the person.
Yeah.
Especially when they don't want to give it to me at my request at some level. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's like, okay, you don't want to be a channel for love for me. That's okay. You innocent. You're totally innocent. But I'm not going to not receive love because you don't want to give it to me. I'm not going to not receive love because your ego might not want to give it to me. You know, I'm talking to you. Right? Anybody else? Take away.
Oh gosh, it just went out. Live in the question and keep asking.
Keep asking. Yeah. Don't just you can ask every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Mine is really gratitude. I come away with a feeling of gratitude because I have had, this is my first real hour of peace I've had in several days, so I appreciate that.
Oh.
Thank you, Earl.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate
And the
that.
rest of you.
That's my, and all of us are contributing to that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all brought peace.
You brought some peace.
That's right.
And when I fall in love with love and really love the experience of being inside of love, then then I will be guided on a path of miracles.
That's right. That's right.
I just feel like that is such a win, fabulous situation.
Me too.
I love that.
That is-
Oh, look at him already there. I love that. Oh no, it's great.
Chris.
So when I'm asking for something, ask for the experience of it.
Yeah, as for the content and the form or the experience of it.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Online, what's be loved, do love. I allow. CJ says the unimaginable awaits me now. You know, Laura says peace, joy, and love. You know, you want to have a takeaway. What's the point of coming to a class or any study and you don't take away anything from it that you want to apply? You know, and it doesn't have to be everything. It just needs to be one. One truth will lead you into all truth. Okay, so let's take a couple of minutes to lay in this ship. Lay in this mud. Okay? All right? Here we go. You are love and only love. As you come to love as your beloved, more and more, you will discover, 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 you will discover that you are guided on the path of miracles. 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 In which more power seems to be getting extended through you. Let the power extend through you. Let the power extend through you. You will begin to witness, you will begin to witness, you will begin to witness, you will begin to witness what? That the universe, you will begin to witness that the universe seems to support you more and more. Say what? You will begin to witness that the universe seems to support you more and more. How? In ways that you could never have imagined. In ways that you could never have imagined. In ways that you could never have imagined.
Just in love with love.
Mighty companions,
Mighty companion.
you all are so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so blessed to have you in my life. I'm so blessed to have you in my life. You're priceless. And you funky. One time, I am entitled to miracles. I am entitled to miracles. I am entitled to miracles. Say it, you all. I am entitled to miracles. Those online, you are entitled to miracles. In this room, you are entitled to miracles. Let's say a big we, yeah.
We
are entitled to miracles. Ow, ow, we are entitled to miracles. Go ahead, we are entitled to miracles. I say we are entitled to miracles right now. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Y'all so damn cool. So cool. Don't forget, share it, like it, comment on it, and I'll see you the next time. All right. Love you.